This week, we're diving back into Season 0, Chapter 8, Shadows of the Past, where Val must confront the raiders attacking the small town of Minz. I've worked with my audio artist Zoran to infuse this chapter with more magic, more wonder, and more incredible artistry. And along the way, we're taking a look back at the Seventh Valkyrie journey as we make our way towards Season 3. Welcome to the Seventh Valkyrie Listen-Along, guys. Let's rock and roll. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Seventh Valkyrie Listen-Along. I'm your host, Colin Sharp, creator and current voice of the Seventh Valkyrie. And if you're a new listener coming through the series for the first time, welcome. And if you're a grizzled hero of Edera, it is great to have you back. Spoiler warning, if you are here for the first time, make sure you go back to listen to the chapters. I will be talking about everything that has happened in the series up until Season 0, Chapter 8. So let's let's get into it. You have been warned for spoilers. So this picks up right after Val and Evan have returned from their hunting trip and found the valley in flames. And there's just a brief consideration that Val has on the off chance this might be a forest fire, but Val pretty quickly rules that out, noting that forest fires don't start in multiple different places at once. They are under attack, and Val immediately leaps into action. He charges down the mountainside with Evan in tow, and then eventually in his arms when Evan isn't fast enough, and then starts commanding the townspeople to flee into the Kiliara. Just go into the wild and get as lost as you can. Meanwhile, Val and the hounds descend into the village where we have their first encounter with an extra natural here, the Scorcher that is leading this band of raiders. But it's not long before we're shown pretty apparently that despite the fear that Ederans have for Thwarp's extra naturals, what you want to call them, there is a much bigger threat on the mountain tonight, and Val leaves a trail of them dead as he tries to make it down and uncover what's happening in the valley. And as he gets to Main Street, he finds total devastation. Dozens have been killed, and in the heart of their cozy general store, Ori and Goff are the most heartbreaking victims of the attack for us. Goff is long dead, and Ori is about to join him, but not before Val and the hounds give her one last moment of peace and solitude. But after she goes, Val's anger explodes, and he punches through a wall, revealing the missing piece to this puzzle that's has been sort of bugging him. From the beginning, something hasn't seemed quite right, and he realizes this isn't just a Thwarp raid for food and supplies like he's used to seeing. This is a coordinated attack. And that realization that this isn't just a brutal clash for survival that can be known to happen. Instead, it's an intentional act of horrifying violence and slaughter. That unleashes something in Val, and in the small valley just west of the Kiliara, the Iron Wolf of Edera begins to hunt again. Now let's take a look outside the episode. That's what happened kind of in the chapter. And now I can show you guys a little bit of the stuff going on behind the scenes. So I have been getting into a rhythm with these episode transformations, and typically they involve Zoran killing it with a spot of music, me wanting to cut a million instances where I wrote he said, she said, I gasped, and a billion other saidisms, and then a final pass to tighten up the flow of the action. And then this chapter had a lot of that stuff to be done, but I'm super happy with all it came out. A little bit of background score adds so much to the intensity of the combat scenes that I just couldn't convey a cappella. And I mean, it really, like, the level of intensity and energy really comes into view with all that extra audio artistry. And that also goes for the moments of peace and the moments of horror and tragedy as Val encounters Ori and Goff. That interaction was heartbreaking to me when I had to act it and when I edited it, but with the fire crackling around us in our ears, we can really feel this intimate, gentle goodbye. And then as the music changes and it shifts as we get into the Iron Wolf reveal, I thought that was just really brilliantly done. So kudos to him. And I got to say, when I wrote that section ages ago, the kind of the reveal of the Iron Wolf, I knew it would be good. It was sticking in my head, but I gotta say, damn, it holds up in my opinion. I wrote this thing 8 years ago, and I was not as good of a writer as I am now, but that is one of the foundational moments of the series, and it lays the groundwork for everything that's to come. So, thank you guys for listening with me. That brings us to the end of this episode of the Listen Along. Stay tuned for the reimaginings dropping Wednesday and the Listen Along dropping next Friday. Now, if you're getting itchy to get ahead, you're not alone, and you can do that 2 ways. You can listen to the episodes as they were released right now, today, for free. Or, if you'd like to experience the full magic of the series, you can join us as on Patreon as a hero of Edera and get exclusive access to Season 0 and Season 1's reimaginings weeks before they hit the public. So the choice is yours. We're just glad to have you along for the ride as we make our way towards Season 3. And I will see you in the next episode of the Listen Along.